for making sure that the council passes very important resolutions and that the council give voice to this very, very important issue. I'd like to thank all of the elected officials who are here who are speaking out in such a profound way on this very important national issue. I'm going to put my chairman's hat aside for a second and speak as a geologist. Let me tell you, this is what happens when you have an application by the federal government to regulate something that's really, really important. We have something called the Safe Drinking Water Act. We've had it for 35 years. It does many wonderful things. There is a part of the Safe Drinking Water Act called the Underground Injection Control Program that regulates when you inject things into the earth that are made of hydrocarbons, and it's a wonderful program that regulates about 2 billion gallons worth of stuff every day. But it does not cover hydro-fracking. This has been exempted from coverage by the Safe Drinking Water Act. And New York State is the big showdown that is going to turn that around. So what you have is the industry going state by state, convincing regulators to do things that are not in that state's best interests, and individual states setting standards that are not sufficiently protected. This is why we have national environmental laws, to set national baseline standards so one state across the river from the other can't whipsaw the other one in a race to the bottom to find out who can put fracking on the fastest track. And so this process is now bumping into New York State, and these very motivated public officials and all the advocates that are speaking very forcefully on this issue. A couple of years from now, here's what we're going to have. We're going to have a situation where this activity is completely covered by the Safe Drinking Water Act, and we're not going to have these fights. And New York State is really doing a service for the rest of the country. Let me just diverge 1 minute on those people who may ask, why is this such a big deal? Gas drilling has been around for a long time, but this is not your mothers and fathers' gas drilling operation. This is not what it's about. This is about under ordinary circumstances. You have a situation where the gas and the oil migrates into softer rock that's porous and impermeable, that you drill straight down. It's under pressure. It wants to come out. This is a situation where we're going right into the source rock that's not porous, that's not permeable, and you're blowing the thing up. So I just want to stress that some people ask, how come this is such a big deal? This is not your mother and father's gas drilling operation. This is hydro-fracking. This is gas drilling Rambo style, and it has to be controlled by the federal government. It has to be regulated by 35 years worth of environmental law, and New York State is the state that is going to make that happen. Now, the Patterson administration, like other administrations throughout the country, have been looking at this, and when you have a state that's in dire trouble, as all states are, they look to these kind of quick fix kind of solutions, and they put their natural resources on the table, and they make a fool's choice. So we have to inform the Patterson administration that the right thing to do is to withdraw this DSGEIS, and you do the right thing by the state. And I have to thank in a very, very special way, the Bloomberg administration has come forward and put millions of dollars worth of science on the table. It's going to be a very tough wall for the state to challenge the science that the Bloomberg administration has put on the table. A round of applause for the Bloomberg administration for doing that, if you will. Woo! Next, we have to thank the federal EPA, who has taken a stand in this issue. Judith Inc. and Region 2 is now lecturing the state on how they have to be better about making sure that proper standards are set. But in doing that, EPA, we're just going to turn around and say, EPA, and now that you're lecturing states on how to do this, you got to do what you need to do and put this underneath the protection of the Safe Drinking Water Act. I think EPA has put themselves out in such a way that they can't turn around and just lecture states. They're going to have to make sure that they get this done themselves. I've run on too long on this very, very cold day. But this day has been 18 months in the making. Governor Patterson, withdraw the SDGIS, and let's start all over again.
Yeah!